Storytelling Ron, and I'm here to talk about Roll20. Obviously, with this pandemic, I'm using Roll20. We had one live video in my garage where we made a little studio for D&D. Really great session. It's gonna get better, promise. Just everything's so new to me, and now with this pandemic, we finally got together to use Roll20 online, and though I've messed with Roll20, I'm not really not comfortable with it, and I'm old and I'm slow. So I hope this is recording. I kind of should aim this at me, my mic, my blue microphone thing, snowball. Anyway, blue ball, whatever. So I'm just trying to figure this all out. So we had an online session last night, and I'll probably post it, although it was badly recorded. I used OBS, but I just kind of it was Roll20's is a terrible, sadly, their video audio is terrible, and just wasn't working. Only one guy could get on, and the others just couldn't. And I've always had issues with that. So thankfully, one of the guy that was on just suggested, hey, let's try Facebook video conferencing. I didn't even know Facebook had that with the messaging. You just click on the video. I didn't even start video conference, and boom, everyone started popping in, and I just kind of quickly had to throw that into the OBS, capture thing, and so I'm gonna put up the episode because I still enjoyed it. Maybe it's not that entertaining to watch. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna keep it up there and then keep try to get better, and hopefully we'll get back into the garage. And I really want dramatics and acting and everyone getting into the roles, so I really want to go for that. But I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you about my Roll20 experiences, for myself, and then maybe you can learn some stuff. But so here I am setting up, because they're getting to the end of Hill Giants, the climax for the Hill Giants, and if I'm sure you've seen my other videos or not, but I'm making them go through every giant in Storm King's Thunder. I'm not doing the storyline where they just go to a bunch of side quests and then they go to the Eye of the All-Father and then pick one or two or three that they want to go to or whatever. But they only need to go to one, and they get the shell and then go to the finale. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it go. They're going to go through every giant, and I'm really enjoying this. And they're first through fourth level right now, heading towards the Hill Giants, fighting the Hill Giants. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I give them too much healing potions or magic or whatever, but they're doing well, and I mean it's still tough, but they're having a good time. And the reason I have so much varied levels is because I just different people come in at different times or can't make it or whatever, and so they just don't they're not getting their levels. But anyway, I'm bringing in my own artwork. I'm taking out. I did buy the Storm King's Thunder Roll20 thing, so it is kind of a bummer that you got your own campaign and then you have to buy theirs on Roll20. You don't have to buy it actually. You can literally upload your own maps, and here I was just looking. What's cool too is that if you do buy the Storm King's Thunder or whatever it's called campaign in Roll20, you get a lot of extra supplements. You get like all their monster listings. Here you get all the maps already preloaded, and they have it pre-set up with all the tokens as well. You get all their tokens for the thing, which is kind of cool. If you need that. So look, see, you get all these tokens you can use, and they're all preset, I believe, with if it'll pop, it'll select. Let's see, objects and tokens. Yeah, see, it has all the stats in there already. So if you're obviously, I'm kind of unique. I create my own artwork, my own minis. Let me just show you real quick. Where's the folder? Oh, here it is. So I create all my own minis and upload them to Roll20. I'm just fixated on doing my own stuff, and I can draw, I can doodle, and it's on my Patreon, by the way. Most of these as paper minis, cutouts, but I'm putting these on. Oh, this is not mine. This one I found on the internet, and this is Goo. I call her Gru, which was an accident, but turned out to be a great accident because all the goblins call her Gru. She grew. They call her Gru because she grew. So they don't even know what they're starting. It was kind of cool. They have, for the first 8 episodes or whatever, whatever playing, they finally got her name, and then she's big as a mountain, and now they because we have a woman playing, she goes, maybe she's pregnant, and it's kind of cool. But it's sort of growing. They're kind of having this anticipation, this suspense as to who she is and what she looks like. And I'm going to describe her as, I didn't draw her this one because it's just one unique character, and I got so many others to draw, you know, like the Frost Giants, Storm Giants, or I'm on the Frost Giants and Fire Giants and White Dragons and stuff. So I'm drawing so many things. I just don't want to draw all these one-offs like these, you know, special characters. But I'm going to describe her as rashes and boils and seepage and stink and, you know, just gross, you know what I mean? Just really gross and dead things all around her that, you know, that she's eaten or rotted away in her folds of her fat. I'm going to really make it disgusting. And I think when they get closer, I'm going to make them like a DC-12, just foul, you know, stench coming off of her, kind of, you know, extra little thing there, if they even come close to her. But so it's pretty cool that I do like Roll20. I think it's really, you know, they're definitely it feels a little clunky. It feels a little old fashioned, maybe. You know, I don't know what that, you know, exactly what that even means, but it feels a little clunky. But you know, still like it. And so here's one of the actual campaign. The way they look, they got the map in there, and well, I put some of mine in there previously. I probably should take those out, just because I'm not using this map. I think it's here. I'm just gonna delete this. But these are mine. But see, they already set up like the tokens for you. You know, with the little goblins over here. I'm pretty sure you can see me. Let me just make sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so the little goblins, and you know, they got the hobgoblin over here. If it's grayed out like this, that means it's on the the DM layer, or like the GM layer, and then if it's sort of solid color, it's on the regular player layer where they can actually see that. And I don't know, I must have switched them around, because you can just click on them. I'm doing a little banter, blathering, prevaricate, whatever it's called, and just talking. But you can obviously switch to the different layers. Map layer is obviously the map. Token layer is where everybody sees everything, and GM layer is where you're hiding stuff. And but they put, and I obviously put in my own art, but they have their own. You know, they put the tokens in. They set it all up for you. And so yeah, if you know, obviously, you know, I want to do my own stuff. So I still found this very helpful. I still found what they did. You know, what I bought there was pretty helpful and had a lot of stuff, and it's kind of neat. Would I do it again for the other campaigns? Probably not. I'd probably just go off the internet and get my own maps of what I'm going to use and stick it in here and laboriously go through and add them on. Although I don't plan on using Roll20 that much, because I really want that sort of theater play with actors together and recording it live. But I do want to show what I'm doing in here. So I made a map of, this is not the one. I mean, I'll show this one a little bit later. Of Groothaug. This is a lower level, so Groothaug upper level. And as you can see here, I made the map. Obviously, I have a different setting. I'm making it, and I really, last night when we played, I described Groothaug because they finally got there to see it, and they also had the two female hill giants and a young one that are coming with them, and they did a good job of subduing the second pair. They befriended one. She brought another, and I actually intended that female to kill them with the sun, to kill them because they were so hungry and angry, and you know, they lost their hubby as well to Gru, and they charged at him. But they did a really good job, though. Even the new player, who's an actress and who's never played D&D, she got she did her hypnotized gaze, because she has the School of Divinity for a wizard. She's only like second level. But she did her hypnotic gaze and totally, and she had divinity, so she gave him a 3, one of her rolls. So the young hill giant failed and was totally enamored with her. You know, I'm really like very happy when I really enjoy that, seeing the creativity of the new people who've never played D&D just do it. They just know it. You know, that's obviously kudos to D&D and the way they, you know, designed it, but the way we all play it, and we have creativity. We kind of know what to do. But yeah, that was really cool. She did that. So they're looking at Groothaug, and obviously, and not obviously, but here's the way here they are. The players are here at Groothaug, and I think I showed this in the previous map, but this is what they saw, and it was really cool. They had a really, at least what I recall. I mean, I'll post that video up anyway. But they came in through here. Oh, you can't see me, but down behind my camera here, they're over there, and I just want to show it just to. It's not letting me move it. Okay. Why don't you let me? Okay. So yeah. So you can see the corner here. That's where they are. The wash. And I described the whole place as just foul. I mean, there's a steam of foulness coming. I personally, in the original campaign, they describe it as a little too organized, a little too colorful, and a little too, farmstead, homestead kind of feel. I'm making this thing foul. It's a war torn. It's, they've abused and destroyed the land because of what Gru is making them do, and everything around them is starving and rotted and fetid, as she is, forcing them all to feed her. And this is all sewage. And the players encountered some goblins, so they know the goblins live in tunnels underneath, and they could go that way. So I'm giving them these creepy options, scary options. They could go that way. They could come up through here. There's all these rocks and timber and flooding and swamp and fetidness. This is all war torn. You're looking, with all the refuse. I think that's the word. Just the leftover carrions and carnage and wagons, and I probably should have drew even more in here. But I think I described it pretty well to them, and but they know the goblins live underneath, and that so the female hill giants were telling them, they're the goblins, feed off their poo, their waste and poo, and I could have described it even more. I think especially their offal, OFFAL, their guts, whatever they throw away, which giants don't throw that much away, but whatever falls kind of rots and flows down underneath the caves here where the goblins live and fester and feed on that. And that's how so this is the whole ecology. That's how they grow and are born. And I do have an encounter underneath. If they go that way, they're going to encounter carrion crawlers. Plus I have a mini I did of, let's see if I got it in here. I'm pretty sure I got it in here. Yeah, of a little goblin swarm. See that? Little goblin swarm minis there. Just, it's like a swarm of mini goblin, little pups and evil, charging at them, low level kind of challenge or attack. Yeah, they got to kill little baby pups if they go that way. And then also he let a bugbear go previously, so that bugbear is going to be, he detected with his ranger sense all the humanoids in the area, and he detected that one coming up. So that's where they ended it, where they're going to go chase after that one, because that one's coming up now, and they obviously believe to warn them. So that's going to be fun if they capture him, or I might have him escape. I'm not sure. I'm going to do a couple of rolls there and see who wins the day of that one, and how that works out. So this is my map now. Obviously, this is completely different from the map that they have for Grudhaug, or the original, as far as just changing it up a little visually. And then of course on the inside, I changed it by I took out the watchtower because I took out the hobgoblins and ice orcs and just kept the bugbears and goblins. I figured I just don't like that, it feels too resort like a resort when you have all these different convenient races that are doing things. I feel like just my own personal taste. So I just kept it because the ice orcs, shields, and hobgoblins and bugbears they're very similar in what they can attack and do. So I just left them bugbears. So there's a bunch of bugbears ready to go. I kind of put in their stats. And I'll show you just so you know how you do this. So obviously you can see here I'm uploading my own artwork, okay? And you have to click on the upload to do it. You can't like drag in the artwork, which would be cool, but you can't do it that way. And so I make minis, obviously paper minis on my Patreon there, like this, but what I'm doing for Roll20s, I'm obviously selecting this, making a single, and then saving it out as a PNG, and then of course I have all these PNGs, and then I drag these, or not drag rather, drag them into this window. You got to drag them into this window, so be careful, because if you try to drag it into like the Roll20, they'll just mess up. So you got to drag it into here to upload it, and you can't you can only drag one at a time or grouping at a time, but you can't keep adding to it. You have to, once you drag and it starts to load, you got to wait, and then you can do the next set or single or whatever. And then of course it's clunky, but it's neat that you can organize it in here the way you want, and there is our premium assets too. You can buy stuff from the market, which I'm not doing. Subscription sets, I guess. Yeah, I know there's a lot of tough stuff out there. I'm not buying it myself, but just uploading most of my own stuff, my own maps or whatever I found on the internet. And obviously it is very easy to upload stuff. And this is my tree. And as you can see, too, in case you don't know this, PNG gives you, this is with the white background, which you don't want. So when you do save it out, or I'm assuming this is the only way you can do it. You turn off the background and you save it out like this with a little checkerboard, because that means there's no background. And PNG files will do that. Okay, that's how you make those. Now, if you found like a cool image off the internet, like a player character or whatever, and I have done that, you can like this guy right here. See, I found this guy off the internet. Oh, it's just and I just took out the white, and took out the white, deleted it, and had this checkerboard, and then saved it as a PNG, and then brought it in here. Anyway, and you can do that on GIMP. I use Photoshop, but you can do that on GIMP. But anyway, I'm just explaining what I'm doing. And then obviously, once you bring your artwork in and then you drag it into one of the maps, and of course, what they do is they obviously have a token sheet, which I guess I should do probably, but I'm just bringing them into the maps. And then you can double click on it, and you can select the bugbear, if there's a bugbear in there. And then here you can select for, the different, you kind of have to type it out and find it, because it's kind of, a little bit more info than I'd like in there. It'd be neat if you could just click on like the character or the monster stats, like the actual thing, and click on it, or I don't know, but whatever. So I did hit points, armor class, and then I just typed in bar 3, which maybe there's a better way of doing it, like through here. I just don't know where it is. So I don't know what to look for. Melee maybe, but yeah. But anyway, so I just typed it in, and it kind of shows it. It's just a reminder what they point, or what attacks they have and damage. But I kind of know anyway. So that's what I'm doing for these guys. And then here's an ogre, and what else? Here's one of their characters. One other thing I want to talk about, the characters here. And they're grayed out because it's in the GM level or whatever. What can I can't see because of this. Yeah, this thing's clunky too, because every time you load up, it starts at the beginning. I mean, unless someone can tell me how to keep it where the map you're on. Like I'm here, so why doesn't it just stay there? When I open up the thing, it just goes all the way back to the beginning. And I have so many maps on here, I have to keep scrolling each time I open this, which is whatever. It is what it is. But also here, you can in the GM level, you can obviously make it more solid if you want. Yeah. So these guys are still on the GM layer, but I changed the overlay to more 100%. Although I can turn it down again. See, just that way that you're hiding it and they can't see it. This is my little goblin, little mobbling, or little mob of goblins, because they fought plenty of individual goblins, and I will have some individual goblins on here, but these guys are little groups of goblins they're gonna fight, and so their CR is gonna be like a 1. I'm gonna add like +5 attack, 2d6 or 3d6, and like 40 hit points kind of thing. So make this like a little tougher kind of orc feel to it. And maybe it has a sneak attack because like a little flank attack by one of them. Those kind of things. I have some stats on it, but I like to do that with my lower level characters instead of just replacing them with some other thing. I like to just add. They start fighting them now, and they fought them in individuals, then in little mobs. They get bigger and bigger because it just gives it a sense that they're getting more epic, and I feel like you need that goblin horde or that orc horde always there, but it just grows with you as you grow up in levels, kind of thing. That's kind of how I play it. One other thing I discovered here, which was kind of funny, which I want to show you because I took me during the middle of the game I couldn't solve it. It was a bummer. So what I did accidentally, how to do Fog of War. I made this cool map that I wanted for the actual garage, and on my Photoshop, it's got a cool ambiance, lighting thing, and shadedness or whatever, layers, whatever. But here I couldn't, I didn't want to mess with that. So I just did this, and I figured I would do Fog of War. Now, what I didn't realize is I messed it up. Fog of War works, okay? Let me show you what you got to do though. So when you make a new map up here, you can you got to go under page settings and then turn on advanced fog of war. Advanced fog of war enabled. Okay, I don't use dynamic lighting. I don't really like it, or maybe I just don't know enough about it. But I don't like the visually how it looks. With the rays of light like that. I don't like. I want it to be hazy. Like the way fog of war does. Those rays of light are too strong and too graphic-y to me. So, fog of war, and it's just obviously, let me get it. Gotta close this. Let me get my select object layer, which is okay. So, what I did was, I had this on the whole time, and I didn't realize it. I wanted it to be very fog of war, so they couldn't see anything. And you can see it's darker here. For the players, it's totally black, but for me, it's just a little bit. I wonder if I can. Whatever. Okay. So, what happened was I was messing around with their lights, their these things, and trying to get it right, and I couldn't figure it out. And I had one of them was set to like 100 feet, and I didn't realize it. So even though I was messing with all of them to try to fix them, one of them had 100 feet, and so it was the whole place was lit, and I thought the fog of war just wasn't working, and I was getting frustrated. This is right in the middle of our playing, so that's frustrating. And this morning I went through all of them and realized that also the scale of the map is off from what I realized it was off. Like instead of being, I think I had them all at 30 feet, and then I went to 100 because I didn't see the 30 feet or something, whatever it was. And so I went down to 5 feet, but I realized one of them had 100, and I was like, what the heck? So that was the issue, that one of them was at 100, and so it kept lighting the whole place up, even though I was adjusting them all to try to go lower and lower, like whatever. But finally figured it out. So it's a little square or whatever, but this is to me a little more comforting than the dynamic lighting thing. And I know the dynamic lighting, you got to sort of figure it all out. So this is advanced fog of war. There's also basic fog of war, which I think is you use reveal area, and you just go like that, and it kind of reveals the area in little squares. So that's a simple fog of war, if you want to use that. And then the advanced fog of war, I believe this is it. And so if you have simple fog of war on, you can just use these little squares here and hide and reveal as they move along, and you can just light up the place. But if you're using advanced fog of war, I believe I could be wrong about this, but I'm just based on what I just figured out. I believe advanced fog of war is using the actual people with their lighting, their little lighting radius on their little stats here. And I think you as the GM have to do it. The players can't see this, I think. At least the second part. I don't know whether they can or can't, but anyway. So, I put this all on, so maybe they can see it. But I don't know. It's for the bars. I don't know if they can see this or not, the light thing. But anyway, I made it 5 feet, and for this map, because I guess I just scaled the map incorrectly. Based on using the grid or whatever. And I turned the grid off, by the way, because I can visually, I can just visually see what 5 feet is here. And I don't like the snapping thing or having to turn it on and off, because sometimes I want to adjust the size of the characters or whatever. I just want to have a little more fluidity in that. And as far as ranges go, I'm very easygoing on that. I do benefit of the doubt kind of stuff. I don't want to, let's enjoy the game. I don't want them to be hinged on a grid or exact. Did you get all these goblins in the 10-foot radius? Not this one. I'm gonna. You know what? You got all of them there. I just kind of go with that kind of thing. I just wanted to go through that couple things with this and my little frustrations and successes, and it was actually a good time. But we used Facebook messaging, video conferencing, and then we all looked on this for the game, and it turned out pretty well. I was pretty pleasantly surprised at the end. I was kind of every time we keep doing new things on top of new things, and so it kind of stresses out this little curmudgeon, but it was good. It was good. I really at the end was pretty excited about it, and they all seemed pretty good, happy about it. So we're definitely going to do this next week using Roll20. Sadly until this pandemic's over and we can all get back together. But I just wanted to go through kind of my little video diary here. I don't even know what this is called. If it's a vlog or info or what. But wanted to go through all that to explain what I'm doing, and maybe this, a little bit extra info for you. And hopefully, we'll get back together soon and start doing some real dramatic play. But yeah, this is just me doing my thing. Hope this was helpful. You know, give you guys just whatever. All right, this was a total weird thematic one. Stop recording, please. Bye.